Welcome to County Portal, your simple source for local government services and public records. Let's get started.
Today we're breaking down how Donald Trump's overtime pay policy compares to his administration's earlier position on the exact same issue. To understand this, we have to look back at a rule proposed under the Obama administration. In 2016, the Obama administration finalized a major update to overtime rules, which would have more than doubled the salary threshold for overtime eligibility. The old rule said most salaried workers making under about $23,660 a year were automatically entitled to overtime pay. The Obama rule would have raised the threshold to $47,476. This meant that millions of American workers who were salaried and working over 40 hours a week would either get a raise to put them over that new threshold or start getting paid time and a half for their extra hours. However, a federal judge blocked this rule from ever taking effect, creating a state of limbo. This is where Trump's previous stance comes in. His administration, through the Department of Labor, chose not to defend the Obama-era rule in court. Their position was that the $47,000 threshold was too high and too disruptive for businesses, especially small businesses. They argued it was an overreach of executive authority and promised to create their own, more reasonable rule. So, Trump's initial stance was a clear rejection of the high Obama threshold, framing it as a job killer. Fast forward to 2019, and the Trump administration released its own final overtime rule. This new policy raised the salary threshold from the old $23,660 level, but not to the nearly $48,000 that Obama proposed. Instead, Trump's rule set the new threshold at $35,568 per year. This action made an estimated 1.3 million additional workers eligible for overtime pay. So, how does this compare? Trump's new policy was perfectly consistent with his administration's previous stance. His stance was that the Obama rule was too extreme, and his policy delivered a much more modest increase. He didn't keep the status quo, but he implemented a change that was significantly smaller in scope and impact. While Obama's rule would have covered an estimated 4.2 million more workers, Trump's covered about 1.3 million. Supporters of his policy called it a responsible and balanced update that protected some workers without placing a huge burden on employers. Critics, on the other hand, argued that it left millions of middle-income workers behind, people earning between $36,000 and $47,000 who would continue to work long hours without extra pay. In short, Trump's policy was a direct, but much smaller, follow-through on the idea of raising the overtime threshold, reflecting his consistent position that the Obama-era proposal went too far. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more simple explanations of important policies.